Good morning, everybody. It is February 23rd, 2026, and the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning, everyone. This is Bev.
Hello, Bev.
Oh, well,
And hello, everybody out there. All right, we got a great show today. We're going to talk about the wounded healer. I was inspired by something that came over one of my social feeds about Carl Jung talking about the wounded healer. And so, as we usually have done lately, we shoved all this information into chat and had a little chat with whoever that is and started dialoguing about how BioTouch fit with that concept of the wounded healer, which is you don't have to be healed to help someone else feel better. That's the concept that we're going to talk about and how BioTouch really fits into that and sort of blows up the whole concepts that we have about how what a healer needs to be or not be. But
yeah.
yeah, we were talking about you don't need to be healed, and you were talking about how well the whole concept is we're healing together.
Yeah, I think that's the key, isn't it? That's exactly the foundation of BioTouch. It takes two people.
Two
That
people.
tells me that in order to begin the healing process, it's going to, I've said before too, all of us will heal when we all heal together. I really think that's why BioTouch is so important, especially now,
Right.
circle, get to, reach out and help someone. Yeah.
Yeah, and we focus that a lot about the concept of self-awareness, that everyone that comes to me for healing, so-called, is representing a part of myself that's needing to be healed. That's the self-awareness part of our whole program. BioTouch encourages a growth in person's self-awareness, and that's not just for the person who came in for the session, but it's for us as the practitioner. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Well, this that, how connected we are. Well,
Yeah, you're freezing up a little there.
connected.
Are you there? There you
Okay.
are. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. My internet said, "Oh, you're having a little bit of problem."
Yeah.
Not now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's, if we really, that's what can.
Yeah, let's go into some of these ideas that we were talking about and see if your internet comes back on. And it talks about the myth of the perfect practitioner. And chat was telling us some of the common beliefs that it was finding on the internet about healing was you must believe for it to work. You must have a positive attitude. You must feel loving. You must visualize energy. You must be spiritually developed. You must be calm and well, we just lost Bev, so there I am. There she is. But
Good Lord.
there you are. Good Lord,
Not,
nothing's perfect. You don't have to be perfect to pass on the message. That's a perfect example.
perfect example of you don't have to be perfect.
We are
Not for me.
imperfect on this show, and yet we're still going to get this message across.
I know, one of us.
Yeah. So as I was saying, you don't have to feel loving. You must not visualize energy. You must be spiritually developed. You must be calm and centered. You must like the person you're working on. That's a lot of the statements that we hear out into the healing world. Which then puts people into these ideas of, well, I can't really learn it because I'm too stressed, or I'm dealing with my own problems, or I'm not spiritual enough. I'm not a healer. That's what stops people from doing it because of these old paradigms. And
Yeah.
BioTouch moves us to remove that pressure of being perfect. And you talked about how that's why you felt Norman was given these points.
Yeah, for all of us, or just ordinary people, people on the street, people just living their lives. This is that's is required in order for you to learn and practice biotouch. Just be here. that I think that's the message. This is not something you have to go learn from a guru and be anointed and, you know, fork out a bunch of money and, all that stuff. No,
Right.
that's not bio.
And I remember Norman used to get other points, and
Yeah.
for a while people were trying to make him the guru. And I was like, the reason I got involved at that time is I realized this was not about Norman. He had his own ego. He got into trouble later on. I mean, it just, and to me, the more he got in trouble and the more things that happened to him, the more I realized the technique had nothing to do with the person, you know?
Yeah,
And I kept doing it
absolutely.
because I didn't relate this to the person, And one day somebody said, "Oh, Norman, do you get more points?" And he went, "Yes, I do." And I always felt like, well, that was half of a truth because he never said to that person, "And you will too."
And you will too.
you, you
I
will
can
get,
I can vouch for that on a personal level. Yes.
right,
Yeah.
right. And so, Chat was telling us too, BioTouch works regardless of your state. With BioTouch, you don't need to believe, you don't need intention, you don't need visualization, you don't need concentration, you don't need to feel loving, you don't need to be in a good mood, you don't need special abilities. You can be distracted, tired, stressed, skeptical, judgmental, and even thinking about what you're going to have for dinner.
Well, let us remind people of why that's such an important thing. BioTouch is a healing relationship. That means whatever the practitioner is feeling or not feeling, once you once you start practicing BioTouch with another person, I'm sorry, but in that relationship, you are going to receive. So, I mean that's just the way that works. I have personally thought, oh my gosh, why is my knee hurting today? Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to be working with some people today who have some knee issues. I know that I'm going to be getting what I need just by touching them.
Right.
And sure enough, this is why healing is a relationship. We heal together. Yeah, with
Yeah,
someone else.
the key idea it came up with here says BioTouch works through the technique, not through the personality of the practitioner.
There
And
you
I think
go.
that's really important. And I think Kenna's going to show that with her research. One of the
Yes.
ideas we want to do with the research is we saw in her last one, the prefrontal cortex was all in coherence, and it was done with three or four, seasoned practitioners, certified practitioners. But one of our next protocols will be taking neophytes, people who just learned it, and see if
Yeah.
they get the same results just by doing the headset.
Kind of like teacher right there, the greeting in the head.
Right.
Go.
That's it. Go.
And
Let's see what happens.
you and I both know it's gonna
My hypothesis is it'll be interesting, but I
it'll
think
be
it'll show the same thing that you won't be able to tell who it was that was doing the sets of points. And that's what's wonderful about BioTouch,
yeah,
that
yeah. It comes from within us, doesn't it? It's already in us. We
right.
already have what is required to do biotouch.
Which is another reason people always say, "Well, why don't you charge, Paul?" Well, I've always felt, well, how can you charge for the truth? In one sense, BioTouch is the truth. It's within you. You are the healing. The
Yeah.
healer, the healer, the healy. You are everything. You're in this relationship. And so, how can
Yeah.
you charge people for something that you carry with you? I mean, we say it's the first two fingers of each hand. You carry it with you,
With
and you
you.
carry this ability to help another human being, even though you're going through your own stuff. If you're on this planet, you're going through stuff.
Well, that's exactly right. And there's an old saying, when you are in a place where you feel like you're in a crisis or whatever, the moment that you serve someone or something else, you are kind of dissipating your own stuff. The best way that's what BioTouch reminds us of. The best way to address what you're through is to practice touch. in that service, your own stuff will rest. I truly believe that. That's why it's such an important, okay.
Right.
Mm, yeah.
You're
So,
still here. Off
okay.
and on. It's
Ah,
on and off, but you're still here. We're getting the gist. So
okay.
yeah, it says, even imperfect people can help. Chat goes on. It says BioTouch is for ordinary people. It's for families. It's for friends. It's for caregivers. It's for neighbors. Real people with real lives. Bad
Yeah.
days, stress, emotions, opinions, judgments. BioTouch is inclusive because it allows people to be exactly who they are. And
What we used to say, BioTouch breaks down all the barriers.
yeah,
Everything you just mentioned gets in our way. Even our little personality egos always get in our way, but doesn't matter, does it? You got that, and you reach out and touch another person.
yeah, and our
Yeah.
judgments, that's
Oh, well.
we're judging from the minute we get up in the morning. We talk about that in one of our classes. You look in the mirror and you're immediately judging yourself. We're always
What?
judging ourselves.
I
Oh my
know.
God, I look great today. And then you go meet your first person on the street and they go, God, you look really tired today. Wait a minute,
I
I just
know.
thought I looked great,
Oh, I thought I was having a good day.
so
Oh,
we're judging ourselves. We're oh my gosh, I could have done better, or I could have done this, instead of, oh my God, I just took a fall, or oh, I just judged somebody. That's just seeing ourselves in action is how BioTouch helps us heal.
that's right. That's self-awareness. That's exactly what you're talking about. To become self-aware enough to have an inner dialogue with yourself, to start being the observer of your own thoughts, your own life, your own choices. It's a changer. It's a life changer for sure.
And then chat goes on here. I love having these chats with chat. Yeah, why this makes BioTouch unique. BioTouch is unusual because it does not require belief, it does not require philosophy, it does not require personal transformation first, it does not require special talent. BioTouch democratizes healing and belongs to everyone. I
Okay.
love that word it keeps
I
using.
know. It belongs to
Democratizes.
everyone. Yep.
you
There you
know
go.
the final thought BioTouch that chat came up with: healing doesn't begin with perfection, it begins with simple touch. That's a great little phrase. you
It
know
is. It
and
is.
it's sort of, I think it was Thoreau who said it. How shall a man know that he is chaste? He shall not. How shall you know when you are perfect? You shall not. How could I look them in the face? I'm like, yeah, we
That's
just
it.
we get a reflection of all that we need to continue working on within ourselves, and BioTouch just helps us say, okay, I see it. Let's just get to work here.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is take that index and middle finger, lightly touch just below the breastbone with those two fingers. Take those same two fingers, go to the left of that big bone at the base of the neck. Boom. You've started a healing process just by doing the greeting. That's
Just
another
by
thing.
doing the greeting, that key.
Yeah. You
You
know?
know, we all the things that we've mentioned in this show that we all deal with every day. Self-worth issues, pain, suffering, all of that, wanting to be perfect, judging, criticizing. Um, these are things that have been programmed within us collectively, by the way, collectively. And it's almost like BioTouch has come back to re-help us through that self-awareness, one by one, within each of us, to start a reprogram. Because it breaks down all that old stuff, says you're not, don't have, I'm blah, blah, blah. And now it's saying, oh, you've always had it. It's always been here. Now, with practice of biotouch and that self-awareness, you can begin the journey of, coming back into your true self. And in the meantime, you can help other people because we're all going through the same stuff.
Yeah,
We're all the wounded healers.
we're all
We're
the wounded
all
healers.
wounded.
And it's like I've always liked saying, we're all bozos on the boat, you know.
Yes.
And as I say to junior high kids, even jerks can do biotouch, and I've proven it because I'm one of the biggest jerks on the planet. And I've always remembered people who are on the path or healers or something. Oh no, Paul, you should be kinder to yourself. No, no, you're really a kind, caring person. And I'm like,
You don't know me.
you don't know, yeah, right? You know, but it's the beauty of, yeah, I am a jerk and I'm also an angel and kind and
That's
caring,
right.
you know. It's like
Absolutely.
I want to be all of it, you know.
All of
So BioTouch allows me to be all of it and meet people and
it.
where they are in their
Yeah.
journey. So,
I think that's a really important point, isn't it? This is the beauty and the just the wonderful saving grace of BioTouch. It meets each of us just where we are right now. It doesn't ask anything.
right.
It doesn't ask to be perfect or to be totally, without pain or whatever. This is where we are. This is where I am right now today. And that's it, the power of it just meets us where we are. I love that part.
So we're meeting you where you are, even though we've been a little imperfect in our presentation because of good old technology. But
Yeah.
hopefully we got the message across to you. We hope you'll learn BioTouch. Go to justtouch.com. Let us know how we can help you help your loved ones. That's why we're here. Thank you,
Excellent.
Bev.
Thank you, Paul.
And thank you,
Thanks,
everyone, for letting
everyone.
us into your space. Bye.
Yeah, your perfect space.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.